You're telling me I have 5 minutes to find a soulmate? Goldie Karen shrieked, tossing her oversized sunglasses onto the registration table like she was at an auction. Heads turned. The host blinked. One man dropped his water. And that was just the first 30 seconds. Karen wasn't here to blend in. Oh no. She arrived at the speed dating event like it was the Met Gala, strutting in a glittery, gold dress that probably violated 3 fire codes and at least 2 laws of physics. Every heel click echoed like a warning. Trouble has entered the building. Name? The host asked politely. Goldie Karen, icon, goddess, victim of the male species. Do you need me to spell it? The host scribbled something on the clipboard. Probably run. The other women sat politely, sipping their complimentary sparkling water. Karen, on the other hand, waved down the waiter. Excuse me, do you have champagne? Or at least a latte with my initials in oat milk foam? No? Fine, I'll settle for sparkling water with extra drama. By the time the bell rang for round 1, she'd already managed to 1. Accidentally sit in the host's chair. 2. Critique the lighting as hostile to blondes. 3. Announce loudly, ladies, lower your expectations. Karen has arrived. Her first date, Brian, smiled nervously. So, what do you do for work? Karen leaned in, dead serious. I break hearts and HOA regulations. Your move. Brian blinked like he had just stepped into a reality show. Oh, cool. I work in accounting. Karen gasped, clutching her chest. Accounting? Sir, I didn't come here to balance my checkbook. I came here to be worshipped like a Greek statue that occasionally yells at baristas. Try again. The bell rang. Brian escaped like a man freed from jury duty. Date number 2 sat down, a confident lawyer. Karen smirked. So, how many exes are suing you? Don't lie, I can smell alimony from a mile away, the lawyer stammered. The table next to them was silent, listening like it was live theater. Karen raised her eyebrow, milking the tension. You're sweating, counselor. Which means guilty. But lucky for you, I only convict men who wear Crocs. You're safe. For now. By round 3, it was clear. Goldie Karen wasn't following the rules of speed dating. She was rewriting them. The host tried to intervene. Miss Karen, maybe tone it down? Karen stood dramatically, pointing at the ceiling. Sir, love has no mute button. If you wanted quiet, you should have hosted bingo. The crowd burst into laughter. Karen winked at the men lined up. Gentlemen, buckle up. This is not speed dating. This is the Olympics of romance, and I'm here for the gold. The room erupted. The bell rang again. Karen sat smirking. This was going to be fun. The host cleared his throat, clutching a clipboard like it was a holy shield. Ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder. Our 3 simple rules tonight are 1. Be respectful. 2. Keep it lighthearted. 3. No interrogations. Goldie Karen shot her hand into the air like she was in court. Excuse me, sir, but are these rules optional? Because my personality is basically a federal interrogation. Nervous laughter rippled through the room. The host sighed, already regretting his career choices. Round 4 began. A tall gym bro sat across from her, flexing discreetly. Karen eyed him like a hawk. So, what's your bench? My what? Your bench press, darling. Because I don't date men who can't at least carry me, my groceries, and my emotional baggage all at once. The gym bro grinned, finally in his element. 350. Karen gasped dramatically. Oh my gosh. That's like almost as heavy as my Sephora order last week. We're soulmates. Next question. Do you own a dog? Because if you don't, I will loan you mine just so I can judge your pet parenting skills. The bell rang. He looked both charmed and traumatized. Round 5, an IT guy named Mike. Karen leaned back, arms crossed like a queen. All right, Mike, impress me. Pretend you're rebooting my love life. What's your first step? Mike chuckled nervously. Well, maybe I'd start with a clean slate. Karen clapped dramatically. Oh, so you're saying I have viruses? Typical. Men always assume the blonde has malware. Spoiler, the only bug in my system is a constant need for attention. By now, the room wasn't speed dating anymore. It was watching Karen roast every single man in sight. Some women were actually taking notes. The host rushed over again. Miss Karen, please, rule number 2. Keep it lighthearted. Karen flipped her hair. Oh, honey, I am lighthearted. I'm just also devastatingly accurate. There's a difference. Round 6, a poet with soulful eyes. Karen squinted at him. Do not recite me a poem unless it's under 10 syllables. I have the attention span of a TikTok. The poet smiled gently. You shine brighter than the sun. Karen gasped. Sir, that was 8 syllables. Pass, next. The bell rang. The poet scribbled something angrily in his notebook, probably titled, The Blonde That Ruined My Night. By this point, Karen had broken. Rule number 1, respectful. She grilled them like FBI suspects. Rule number 2, lighthearted. She was serving full Broadway drama. Rule number 3, no interrogations. She invented new ones. The host rubbed his temples. Miss Karen, please. Karen stood up, raising her glass of sparkling water. Ladies, gentlemen, and men who think cargo shorts are acceptable. Love is not about rules. Love is about chaos, and baby, I am the queen of chaos. The room cheered. Karen bowed like a performer on closing night. And just like that, speed dating was no longer speed dating. It was the Goldie Karen show. The next bell rang and in walked him. Dark hair, sharp jawline, leather jacket. The kind of guy who looked like he got kicked out of college for being too cool but still managed to own 3 businesses. Karen froze mid-sip of her sparkling water. Oh no, she whispered dramatically. A bad boy. My kryptonite. He sat down slowly, arms folded, smirking like he already knew her. Goldie Karen, right? I've heard stories. Karen gasped. Excuse me, sir, I'm a legend, not a campfire story. The room leaned in. This wasn't just a date. This was about to be a heavyweight championship. He leaned closer. So tell me, Karen, do you always insult every man within a 3-foot radius? Or am I just lucky? Karen's jaw dropped. He was fighting back. Oh, bold, dangerous, I like it. She placed her chin in her hands like she was watching a soap opera. Careful, though. Nobody survives a duel with me. He smirked wider. Maybe you've just never met someone who plays at your level. The women gasped audibly. The men leaned forward like they were courtside at an NBA game. Even the host peeked over his clipboard, whispering, Finally. Karen clapped her hands together. All right, cowboy. Quick fire round. 3 questions. Answer wrong, you're cancelled. Bring it. Karen leaned in. Question 1. What's your credit score? He grinned. 760. And yes, I have receipts. Karen blinked. Okay, fine. That was impressive. Question 2. How many exes still text you, I miss us? He shrugged. Only one, my barber. And he moved to Florida. The crowd laughed. Karen raised an eyebrow. He was funny too? Final question. Would you survive a weekend with me? A karaoke machine and 3 bottles of rosé? He smirked. Karen, I'd outsing you. Karen's jaw hit the table. Outsing me? Sir, I was born with jazz hands. The room exploded with laughter. Karen stood up, pacing like she was in a courtroom drama. This is treason, mutiny, betrayal. She pointed at him, eyes narrowed. You think you can handle me? No man has ever survived this level of fabulous. He leaned back casually, still smirking. Then maybe I'm not a man. Maybe I'm your match. The women screamed like it was a reality show cliffhanger. The men high-fived. The host dropped his clipboard entirely. Karen froze, hand over her heart. Ladies and gentlemen, this man just broke the unbreakable. The bell rang. But instead of storming off, Karen sat back down, glaring and grinning at the same time. Well played, mystery man. Well played. For the first time all night, Goldie Karen wasn't in control. And she hated, but secretly loved, every second of it. Karen couldn't sit still. The mystery man had rattled her. Her! Goldie Karen, destroyer of fragile egos. Queen of comebacks, undefeated champion of chaos. And now some leather jacket-wearing James Dean wannabe thought he could outsass her? Not on her watch. The next bell rang, but instead of turning to the new guy in front of her, Karen stood up on her chair. Attention everyone, she shouted, arms out like she was hosting the Grammys. Speed dating is cancelled. We're upgrading to Karen's Rules of Love, the game show. The host nearly choked on his water. You can't just... Karen cut him off, striking a dramatic pose. Sir, I was born to just. Now sit down and let the goddess work. The men groaned, the women cheered, and Karen snapped her fingers. Round 1. Rapid-fire confessions. Each man must reveal his most embarrassing secret. Winner gets me laughing in their face. The first guy sheepishly admitted he once cried during Finding Nemo. Karen gasped. Oh my gosh, sir, same. Except it was in 3D, so the tears hit different. The second guy confessed he still lived with his mom. Karen leaned forward, grinning. Do I look like I want to share a bathroom with your mother, Chad? Pass. The room howled. Mystery Man, however, wasn't fazed. When his turn came, he leaned back, smirking. My most embarrassing secret? I've already won this game. Karen clutched her pearls. Oh, the audacity. I should sue you for emotional disturbance. But she was smiling. Round 2, she declared. Talent show. Convince me you're husband material. In 30 seconds. One man did push-ups. Another juggled car keys. Someone even recited the alphabet backward. Karen clapped dramatically after each one like she was on American Idol. Then came Mystery Man's turn. He leaned in close, voice low. My talent? I can survive Karen's chaos without running for the exit. The crowd erupted. Karen froze, torn between swooning and screaming. You insolent man! That's not a talent, that's witchcraft. The host tried to take back control. Miss Karen, please, this is speed dating, not... Karen whirled on him. Not what, sir? Not television-worthy gold? Not the greatest love circus ever staged? You should be thanking me. By now the women were chanting, Karen! 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 The men, well, half of them were hiding under the snack table. Mystery Man leaned closer again, locking eyes with her. Karen, admit it. You're not here for love. You're here to win, Karen gasped, staggering back like he'd just read her diary. How dare you? She paused. Actually, you're 100% correct. The room roared. For the first time ever, Goldie Karen wasn't just playing the game, she was the game. And now she was dangerously close to losing it. The room was electric. People weren't even speed dating anymore. They were full-on audience. Members at the Goldie Karen show. The host had completely given up, sitting in the corner eating pretzels. The women were screaming. The men were sweating. And in the middle of it all stood Goldie Karen and her new nemesis/potential soulmate, Mystery Man. Karen pointed a perfectly manicured finger at him. You think you've survived me so far? Honey, the final round has arrived. The sudden death tiebreaker. Mystery Man smirked. Bring it. Karen spread her arms. One question. Answer wrong and you're eliminated from my Love Olympics forever. The crowd gasped. Mystery Man just leaned back, calm as ever. What's the question? Karen leaned in, whispering dramatically. Would you willingly spend an entire Sunday with me at Target, Starbucks, and Home Goods, without complaining, without rushing, and with full enthusiasm when I ask if this throw pillow sparks joy? The room went silent. The women's jaws dropped. The men looked horrified. This wasn't just a question. It was a trial by fire. Mystery Man didn't flinch. He took a sip of his water, locked eyes with Karen, and said, Yes, and I'll even hold your purse while you try on candles. The room exploded. Women screamed like fangirls at a concert. The men booed like sports fans watching their team lose. Even the host stood up, clapping in disbelief. Karen staggered back, clutching her chest. He passed. No one has ever passed. Mystery Man grinned. Guess that makes me the winner. Karen narrowed her eyes, her brain spinning faster than a shopping cart with a broken wheel. This was it, the moment she had to decide. Admit defeat, or flip the script. She stood tall, flipped her hair and raised her chin. Wrong. The crowd gasped. Mystery Man leaned forward. What do you mean, wrong? Karen smirked. The real winner is me. Always me, because, darling, the rule of love is simple. Never let anyone out-dramatize Karen. The room howled. The women cheered. The men groaned. Mystery Man burst out laughing, shaking his head. You're impossible. Karen winked. And unforgettable. She grabbed her purse, stood on her chair, and declared to the whole room, Ladies, remember this. Love is not about finding the one. Love is about making every single room you enter your stage. And tonight, I owned this stage. With that, she strutted out the door, heels clicking like thunder, leaving Mystery Man and every single person in the room, half in awe, half in shock. The host sighed, tossing his clipboard into the trash. Well, that's it. Speed dating is officially dead. And somewhere in the distance, Goldie Karen's voice echoed. Long live Karen!